Think of your friends. Now ask whether on average they have more friends than you do. It feels like a question about you. It isn't. For 87.5% of people, the answer is yes, not a slight edge. Their friends have, on average, more than twice as many friends as they do. That is not a survey or a vibe. It is measured on 4,039 real people and 88,000 real friendships. And the reason has nothing to do with you being less likable. It is a fact about how counting works, and once you see it, you will start noticing it everywhere. In class sizes, in gyms, in how long you wait for things. The network is a real one, released by Stanford. 4,039 people and every friendship between them, anonymized. Count the friends each person has and average it. The answer is 43.7. Now do something slightly different. Instead of averaging over people, go person by person. Look at each of their friends and average how many friends those people have. 106.6. The same network, the same friendships, 2.5 times the answer. And when you check it per person, is your own friend count below the average of your friends' counts? It is true for 3,533 of them, 87.5%. Here is the mistake the intuition makes. When you pick a person at random, every person is equally likely. 4,000 people, 1 in 4,000 each. But when you pick a friend of a random person, that is not what happens at all. To be somebody's friend, you have to appear in their friend list, and a person with 1,000 friends appears in 1,000 lists. A person with 2 friends appears in 2. So popular people are massively overrepresented among friends, for the simple reason that being popular is what it means to appear often. You are sampled uniformly. Your friends are sampled in proportion to how many friends they have. That is the entire paradox. Not psychology. Sampling. Let's make it exact. Call each person's friend, count their degree, D. The average over people is the ordinary mean. Now the average over friendships. A person of degree D gets counted D times, once for each friendship they appear in. So the average degree of a randomly chosen friend is a degree-weighted average, and now use the definition of variance. Since var D must E2, we can substitute E var D plus E2, and the whole thing collapses. Read that last line carefully because it settles the question completely. Your friend's average friend count exceeds yours by exactly the variance divided by the mean, and variance is never negative. So the friendship paradox is not a quirk of Facebook, or of this dataset, or of modern life. It holds in every network where people differ at all in how many friends they have. The only way to escape it is for everybody to have exactly the same number of friends, and we can check the algebra against the data. Variance over mean on this network is 62.9. The measured gap between the two averages is 62.9, not approximately. The identity is exact, and the data agrees to every decimal place we bothered to print. Look at what the network actually looks like, and the size of the effect stops being surprising. The median person has 25 friends. The most connected person has 1,045. That long tail is doing all the work. A handful of enormously connected people sit in thousands of friend lists at once, dragging the friend average up while contributing only a few individuals to the people average. The bigger the inequality, the bigger the gap. That is the variance term made visible. Once the mechanism is clear, sample by person versus sample by connection, it turns up in places that have nothing to do with friendship. Ask a university its average class size, and it might say 30. Ask the students, and they will say 90. Both are right. The university averages over classes, the students average over enrollments, and a class of 300 contributes 300 student experiences, while a seminar of 5 contributes 5. The gym is never as empty as its average occupancy, because more people are there when it is busy. That is what busy means. Your bus is late more often than the timetable says, because a longer gap between buses catches more waiting passengers. Each one is the same sentence. The thing you experience is sampled in proportion to its size, not uniformly. There is a comforting reading of this video, which is that you are not actually less popular than your friends, and the numbers were rigged by the counting. I'd offer a less comforting one. Almost every number you encounter about the world reached you through some sampling process, and almost none of them reached you uniformly. Reviews are written by people with strong feelings, studies that found something get published. The friends you hear about doing well are the ones doing well enough to mention it. The arithmetic here is trivial, one line of algebra. What is not trivial is remembering to ask every time you are handed an average what was being averaged over. Because your friends really do have more friends than you, they also have friends who have more friends than they do,